Hello, everyone. Happy Thursday. Well, it's Thursday in Malaysia, or happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday or Thursday, depending on where you are in the world. Happy Friday if you're in Australia, because they just way in the future. Hope everyone is doing well. But I'm sure you are, because what an amazing week it's been. Like, damn. I mean, I knew that September would be fun, but it's giving. It's giving in a way that I did not anticipate that it would give. It's given all the things. Right, let's get through it because there's quite a lot to get through. I do hit that thumbs up button and subscribe button, please. Right, let's see who's here. I think I see all the usuals. Oh, there's almost 500 of you in the chat. Right, I just saw someone comment about. I saw someone comment about the BBC. Yes, the BBC is indeed going to be airing Invictus. Decided to swallow their pride because for sure there have been commentators on the BBC that have thrown a lot of shade at Harry and Meghan. One guy in particular, I forget his name, real grump. Somebody please help me. I think no, he's not the one that called Meghan a brazen hussy. There's one on the BBC that's always just grumpy as hell. Anyway, good news is they've swallowed their pride and they will be streaming. Yes, Jessica, they will be streaming the Invictus games live. So if you've got the BBC iPlayer, you can log into that. And if you're not based in the UK, you can still download the BBC iPlayer and then set your VPN to the UK. All right. But of course, you can also watch the games on the Invictus YouTube. They'll be streaming it there as well. Right, let's get on to the. Okay, first thing. Now that we are only 3 days away from the Invictus games, I am still giving away my ticket. FYI, when I first bought my ticket, that was last year, the starting time for the opening ceremony was 1900 hours. And it's now been changed to 6 p.m., which is 1800 hours. So an hour earlier. So if you are interested in getting that ticket, there are 3 ways that you can get in contact with me. You can either message me at the Duchess Zone on Twitter, so I'll put that here. The Duchess Zone on Twitter, or Duchess of Success Official on Instagram. Or you can email me at annbmalambo@gmail.com. And if you do message me, oh yes, Valerie, Nicholas Whittle, whatever, Nicholas, whatever. That's the old grump. Thank you. So those are the 3 ways you can get in contact with me. And basically, all I want to see is some kind of evidence that you are either going or you are on the ground of Dusseldorf. Just so I make sure that it actually goes to someone who is actually there. And if you can show some kind of evidence, like social media account, that you are actually a squaddy, that would be great. Because ain't no way I'm flying from Malaysia to Germany. It's not gonna happen. And obviously, I bought the ticket last November, so my plans then were very different from what they are now. So that ticket is still up for grabs. Or if you know somebody that would like the ticket, we want a full house at the opening ceremony. Don't want any empty seats in the house. So I'm giving it away for free. I'm not charging for this ticket. I'm not reselling the ticket. I will just email you the e-ticket for you to scan at the ticket gates. Okay. So yeah, that's how you can get in contact with me. And hopefully I can give that to someone. I would hate to see that go to waste. Right, time flies, doesn't it? Time flies. A year ago today, this happened. Can you believe it? Can you believe it? Can you believe a year ago today, I was still in London. I was still in that awful flat that we moved to after I had to move house. By the way, my dad's actually moved away from that flat. He's moved somewhere else now. I hated that place. Um, but it's just crazy to think the way that time has just gone. And this was Betty in her final days. I was very worried when I looked at this photo. And we all remember around this same time, Harry said that he wanted to be around his grandmother and check on his grandmother because he felt, or he just wanted to make sure that good people were around her. And there was evidence to suggest that maybe that wasn't the case. There were other photographs of, the Queen not dressed particularly well. There was that photograph with her next to her horses, and then of course you see the bruises on her hand here. And this was when she was receiving prime ministers, and Liz Truss gave her the handshake of death. I was actually at Buckingham Palace after Lizzie died, and that was the day that Liz Truss went to receive Charles. No, when Charles received her, and Liz Truss's motorcade whizzed past me, and I swear that woman took my whole soul when she whizzed past me. I don't know if I've ever shown it on this podcast. I think I might have once. There's an old Instagram post that Liz Truss posted many years ago, where she's wearing a devil's costume for Halloween, and in the caption, she wrote, "The greatest trick the devil ever pulled was convincing everybody that he didn't exist." This was the woman who then went on to become our prime minister for a whole month, and then, along with her lapdogs, crashed the pound, made her friends in business tens of millions, and hasn't really been held accountable at all. She will still receive prime minister pension and all the other benefits that come with being a prime minister, even though she was outlived by a lettuce. Unbelievable. Like, what has actually happened between now and then? Almost a year we're coming to Lizzie's passing. Right. Your comments before we get on to the next thing. Helena, I find it very hard to support BBC or any news channel. Fair enough. You can always watch it on YouTube. It will be streaming on YouTube. I won't be streaming it here just because I don't want to get hit with copyright, and I'll still be, doing my own work during the day. We'll just be having like rundowns of any highlights during Invictus. Mad World, you said, I've been saying Harry and Meghan's mourning period is officially over and we will be seeing more of them. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure they'll do something in private to commemorate her passing, because I do genuinely believe that, Harry and Meghan were probably two of the only family members that really, really genuinely mourned the Queen's death. Harry loved his grandmother. He considered her his commander in chief. Despite what tabloids want to say, it's very clear that the Queen did like Meghan. So regardless of how we feel about the Queen and her social political position, as far as their relationship as relatives, they had a very close relationship. So yeah, I think that for them now, they got to mourn her passing. It was difficult. I mean, that that 2 weeks just seeing how Meghan was just hounded, but they did it. Harry honored his grandmother. Meghan honored her as well, and here we are a year later. Andrea, you said join via Buy Me a Coffee. Not sure how it works, but I do need. Okay, not sure what you meant by that, but thank you so much for joining. Sharon Shade is going to the games. Ask her if she wants a ticket. Okay, I'll ask her. Okay, on to the next thing. And yeah, in United Kingdom corruption news, I'll never forget this. The wooden lectern that Liz Truss used for her 10 minutes as PM cost £4,000, and there were already a dozen others to choose from, and they call us money wasting scroungers. And there's also been another controversy regarding Rishi Sunak and one of the education secretaries that he apparently signed off for like £34 million to have her flat refurbished or something like this. And they're now talking about getting people who are on sickness benefits back to work. If you're sick, you shouldn't be working. Like, they are literally sucking people dry, expecting you to work when you're not fully capable of working or you have good reason not to be working. While they stuff their coffers with illegal government contracts, while they crash the pound and make their hedge fund manager friends money. Oh, it's really going down over there. It's really going down. And with the tabloids, shout out to Hacked Off, who are also doing a really great job of holding the tabloids to account and have been doing for some time. Hugh Grant is actually he's on the board of Hacked Off, because he was one of the victims of the hacking inquiry, but they chimed in on the Black Names to Arist ghostwritten articles saga. And somebody on Twitter said, this has been going on for years now. You only need to speak to some of those columnists and TV pundits when they come out the other side, burned, attacked, and lost. What they've shared with me, we couldn't have got our names out there and paid if we didn't take those angles. And I actually think that this was a very natural progression with the extreme right. They needed to have faces of color spewing their own rhetoric, because it's getting increasingly more difficult for them to spew it themselves. So I've actually seen this coming for a very long time. Doesn't surprise me, but nonetheless, incredibly disappointing to see people putting themselves in the firing line like this. And like this lady said, eventually they all learn. Remember what happened to Stacey Dash? Eventually they all learn. They will use you and then spit you out. They'll use you when it's convenient. You know, the Tory party in the United Kingdom have been corrupt for a long time. But now that Rishi Sunak is there, now you're seeing letters of no confidence. Now it's the worst Britain has ever been. Like, like there hasn't been a decline for a while. Same with Kwasi. He was there when the pound crashed. They made him the chancellor. I guess they don't mind throwing themselves and people who look like them under the bus. Now, onto some good news. Is everybody ready? Everybody ready for a laugh? Now, the National TV Awards, which I guess you could say is the daytime Emmys version of the UK, they were last night, and Piers Morgan was booed and jeered. Now, I watched the clip. It was a mixture of cheering and booing, but he was definitely booed, and twice. I'm not going to play the footage because I don't want to get hit by the copyright police. But I will upload it later and demonetize that video so they don't come after my channel. But yes, he was booed. There he is trying to keep a straight face. And back in 2016, I'll never forget this. This was the article that Moron wrote after Beyonce's Super Bowl performance. Jay-Z's not the only one who needs to be nervous about Beyonce, the born-again black woman with a political mission. I am so happy that Piers Morgan got booed. And you can see on his face, he's trying to keep it together. I don't think that he was actually, he wasn't expecting it, I don't think. Now, he also lost the award. And he tweeted afterwards, got the tube in searing heat, like he couldn't afford a cab, got mocked by a host I've never heard of, got booed by an audience of shrieking banshees, got beaten by Graham Buddy Norton, and now getting the first limo I can to get the hell out of here. Thanks for a great night. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't limos get wiped out by the same comet that wiped out the dinosaurs? You needed to get an Uber real quick. I love this for him. I absolutely love this for him. This is karma. The way this man has come after women in media, particularly women of color, particularly black women, the way he's come after Meghan, the way he's come after Harry. We are seeing the beginning of the fall of Piers Morgan. Because up until now, something like this, where he gets booed at a national TV awards, like I've attended the national TV awards before. Like they have it in the O2 Arena usually. Like it's a big crowd, and it's both industry people down in the lower section, and the members of the public take up the upper sections of the arena. So this is a mixture of industry people and the general public who are booing this man. This pipsqueak. Well deserved. And this is the beginning. This is absolutely the beginning. I don't think that Piers Morgan is ever going to go to jail, but I do believe that he will end up with a very hefty lawsuit or fine that could potentially bankrupt him. And I cannot wait. Also, BOOED were some of the nominees from this morning, and I'm a Celebrity. And I do believe that Philip Schofield actually was there. These people have no shame. And that whole Philip Schofield saga seems to have gone real quiet. It's like they've just made it disappear. I wouldn't even be surprised if give it another year or so and Schofield will be back. Truly horrendous. Also, over in Derangerland, I think that Derangerland, they are finally waving the white flag over there. So one of the popular Derangers, she posted this, she or he, just reminding everybody that we will be having a complete blackout of the Sussexes on Friday, September the 8th. I'm also going to include the eve of her passing from midday onwards, so I guess that's the Queen. No clicking, articles, likes, posts, retweets, hashtags, nothing related to the Sussexes. Yes, I'm going to try also and not post so much about them anymore. Fantastic. I mean, don't just do it on the September 8th. Do it forever. Keep our faves' names out of your mouths and off of your Twitter feeds. Focus on your own. Yeah? I support this. I support you, Derangers. Also, a lot of them are having meltdowns. One person here saying, I'm more shocked that she, Meghan, was invited to Beyonce's birthday party. Why? Like effing why? I really hate saying this, but the pics in the last few days really goes against what all of these sources have been saying about Meghan and Harry being pariahs in Hollywood and no one wanting to be associated with them. Oh, I think they're finally figuring it out, guys. They're finally figuring it out that the likes of Lady C, Dan Whatnot, Angela Laprine, Camilla Tominey is a liar, Victoria, I lost my eyelashes arbiter. I think they're finally figuring out that they have been lied to by these people. Another person saying, I have no faith and no hope, which makes me open to all sorts of disasters. I know they're coming. Is it what it is? I have to be honest, for a moment, a couple of years ago, I actually thought I actually thought Markle might be cancelled. I don't anymore. She's basically gotten away with it. These people really have no lives. These people have no lives. Thanks for that. People need to wake up and realize Hollywood hasn't shunned Markle. Tyler Perry and Beyonce are Team Sussex. They were just laying low. I mean, this woman saying, I have no faith. Do they do nothing else? I get off this podcast. I'm putting on a face mask. I'm reading a book. Like, I have a life outside of the royal streets. I don't think these people have lives at all. I think that hating Meghan absolutely consumes them. And they're finally, I think, starting to realize that they've been lied to, that they have been trapped in a false narrative. Harry and Meghan are failing. Nobody likes Harry and Meghan. Another one who was spewing hatred and jumped on the hate train, Bethenny Frankel. Bethenny Frankel. Yeah, that picture where she's squinting her eyes, that is a very recent picture. That is a screenshot from a little rant that she gave, where she was basically trying to apologize her way. Well, it was like it was a non-apology apology, where she's trying to explain away why she was spewing so much vitriol at Meghan. I believe this woman actually made a beeline for Meghan's ex-husband, who wanted eventually nothing to do with her. She was on Real Housewives, and everything I've heard about the way that she was leads me to believe that she was quite nasty. She had a show called the Bethenny Frankel Show, which was cancelled. And also, so that was back in 2014, but more recently, like this year, she had another show with Kevin O'Leary that was also cancelled. I think this woman is very bitter. I think she envies Meghan. And I think that she jumped on the hate train because she thought that she could milk it also. But karma's coming for her. And I think that people who jumped on that hate train have basically alienated themselves. I love it for her. Love it for Piers Morgan. Back to the UK for a second. Sorry, let's go back there. Let's go back there before we concentrate on all the goodness happening in California. So there is a city in the UK, for my international friends, called Birmingham. Birmingham is one of the biggest cities in the UK. It has declared bankruptcy. And the local authority there blames the cost of settling equal pay claims. I don't believe that's the whole case. But what's also interesting about Birmingham is Birmingham recently hosted the Commonwealth Games to the tune of £778 million, going close to £1 billion. I really want to know why an event that is barely even half the size of the Olympic Games cost that much. Like, you know that they were just giving out contracts to their friends. Ain't no way it should cost that much. And that same city is now declaring bankruptcy. To your comments. Thank you so much to Kat Holland being a member for 16 months. And you said, I'm back from the US from Egypt vacation. Amazing. I hope you enjoyed it. Did you see the pyramids? Egypt is on my list. Oh, there's a place in Egypt. Well, I think it's on the border. Give me a sec. Because it's really awesome. I want to ask you if you went to it. Shouldn't have brought up traveling. What's it called now? It is called give me a sec, folks. Oh yeah, it's called the Siwa Oasis. It's near the Libyan-Egyptian border. And you basically you float in these salt ponds, giant salt ponds. And they're so salty that you just float at the top. Did you do that, Kat Harlem? I just want to ask, did you do that? Hope you had a good time. Okay. Duchess, I heard the other day, Bethenny and Hoda are very good friends. I hope Hoda is nowhere near Invictus. Oh, yes, Hoda, who was she's a correspondent for ABC, right? Is that the lady you're talking about? Trinette, these people want to learn the hard way. They need to leave Meghan alone. It won't end well for them if they keep up with this. Yes. Meghan Kelly, you're next. You are next. Monte, you said, if anyone really thought the Duke and Duchess were cancelled, please pick up your gullible Person of the Year award at Buckingham Palace. your GPO, the Gullible Person of the Year award. Like, who in their right mind would believe that? Thank you so much, Debbie Lowe, for the PayPal. Much appreciated. Cancelled where? It's cancelled in the room with us. Yeah, Bethenny, come here. Take several seats, girl. 4 seats for every single time you were a fool. Yeah, karma. Coming for all of the enemies of the Sussexes. I'm pretty sure Meghan getting signed to WME and getting signed by Ari, that's shaken some people. Yep, Helena, what? Mina, damn. Like, I mean, imagine knowing that your city went bankrupt. I mean, I'm not saying that it went bankrupt because of the Commonwealth Games and they're blaming on other things, but 778 million, close to a billion, that's money that was not going to public services. And now, public services in Birmingham are going to have to be cut because they ain't got no money. So can you imagine living there, knowing how much money was spent on this uh, vanity show, which is what the Commonwealth Games is at this point? And I hope this is a lesson to the any country that may be considering hosting it. Have a look at this. Do you really want to spend close to a billion? I mean, if that's how much it costs to host a Commonwealth Games, I had no idea that it was that expensive. I was thinking at the most maybe 50 mil, at the most. I had no idea that it cost that much. So any country, city being asked to host, take a good look at this. And now it's starting to make more sense why Canada, Australia, all these places that have more than enough money, they could host them. Still, like the money isn't there. Don't want to. Because what is the financial return? Especially when you've got two of the biggest stars of the royal family have now gone. And Harry has now got Invictus. Invictus that has such big sponsors that the sponsors pay for it. You've got Boeing, Land Rover, and Amazon, basically all the big dogs. So, with the exception of maybe security, which you would hire anyway for any major event, it's not really costing the host cities a lot of money to host Invictus, while you have the two most popular royals attached to it. So, who would you rather host? Would you rather host Invictus or the Commonwealth Games? Rahini, I actually don't know what it's like in Birmingham, to be honest. I've never been. So I don't know. I don't know what the situation in Birmingham is like at all. Thank you so much to Lydia. Thank you for the super sticker. Nonetheless, though, for any city in the UK to go bankrupt, this is not anything I've ever heard of. I don't even understand like how that can happen. Okay, Lorna, you said no, Birmingham is okay. So there are some poor areas and many areas middle class and rich. Okay, thank you so much for clarifying, Lorna. I honestly I don't know anything about Birmingham. Never been there. I've been to Manchester. There's Blackpool. I haven't really traveled the UK. Okay, hold on. You said okay. I touched the oldest pyramid and columns. I have lots of photos. No, I didn't do that, but I sailed down the Nile on a riverboat. Fantastic. Glad you had a good time. Boney, the council overspend on the Commonwealth Games because they did the roads. I mean, shouldn't they be doing the roads anyway? Yeah, Valerie, it should be way cheaper than the Olympic Games. There's no need, I think, for the Commonwealth Games to be, building an athletes' village. You should just use what's already there. All right, on to the next thing. Right. Harry and Leo. Now, this is interesting. ET was the only news station that actually picked up that Leo was there. Like, did nobody recognize Leo? Like, I don't know how that got missed, but I did not see, or there have not been any pictures of Harry and Leo from the football match with Messi. And it was ET on their cameras that managed to catch this. Leo having a quick chat with Harry. I didn't even know that Leo had been there. So what was that about Harry and Meghan being shunned by the A-list? Because it seems like the A-list cannot wait to get close to them, especially, and you know Leo's trying to do some networking because Archwell got production money, and Leo doesn't just act in front of the camera; he produces behind the camera. You know, people go where the money resides, where the money resides, where the money resides, like the song says. And also, we've got more pictures from Beyonce's concert bash on her birthday. So Meghan was actually down in the VIP, and we'd only seen pictures of her with Kerry Washington and Kelly Rowland, but there were a lot of celebrities down there. Of course, Jay-Z was down there. And there she is, having a good old chinwag with Jay-Z. Also, Mama Doria with her girlfriends up in the box. This is a Miss Gina Zapanta, who Doria seems to be close to. She's actually posted quite a few stories of them in the getting in the car, going, to the concert, getting ready. It's great to see that, Mama Doria has her own little girl gang. Loving this for her. And they were up there enjoying yet another night of Beyonce. What's also interesting is that there's no pictures of them going to the venue or leaving. Isn't that quite remarkable? I think, the Paps maybe saw Harry and Meghan on the first night. They definitely weren't expecting them to come back again. Wasn't expecting Meghan to come back again. Harry wasn't there, but Meghan was. And, guys, we have a new picture, never been seen before, from the coronation. Will you look at this? We never saw this picture. We never saw this picture at the coronation balcony. Did anybody see this picture of the coronation balcony? Our favorite balcony that we can't stop talking about? Hardy har har har. This right here is a balcony of royalty. This right here, I just know, caused some heart attacks. So one side you got Meghan, and sitting right next to her, the CEO of Netflix and his beautiful wife. And then on the other side, you've got Jeff Bezos, the richest man on the planet, with his girlfriend, or maybe now wife. I think they're married. And Kris Jenner. You just know this picture sent some people into cardiac arrest. If at this point you still believe that Harry and Meghan have been shunned by the celebrity set, that Harry and Meghan are failing, that Harry and Meghan are going to go crawling back, or at least Harry will go crawling back to the UK, tail between his legs. If you still believe that, you are deranged. There is no way that you can look at this picture and tell me that Harry and Meghan have failed. They have not only survived, they have thrived. And you know something? Even I will have to admit, I had a lot of faith in Harry and Meghan. I thought that they would go on to do some great things. But they have surprised me even. Did anybody think, when we were in the thick of the smear campaign, Did anybody think that this is where we'd be? Shooketh. Now I do remember Jeff Bezos, when the Queen passed away, he was given a whole eulogy to the Queen on the Twitter, and I I don't know how long negotiations with Amazon paying for all the Invictus tickets. Reminder: if you are going to Dusseldorf, you don't have to pay for tickets. You can just show up to the sports events because Amazon is paying for all the tickets. I don't know how long that negotiation has been going on, but I was quite surprised to see Jeff Bezos giving a whole damn eulogy on the Twitter. Only because he's American. I just assume that Americans just don't really care about the British royals. So I don't know. Were they in talks even then? And also, Lightside did mention, could the Archetypes podcast be going over to the Amazon side, or could they be doing something with Amazon? Would that conflict with their Netflix contract? Who knows? But absolutely incredible picture. I mean, we've just been getting a drip drip, and it's just incredible how when the UK tabloids don't get to control the narrative, how the narrative changed completely. And Harry said himself that losing control of the narrative is what the tabloids feared the most. And with a few TikToks and a couple of pictures, that narrative has shifted. Thank you so much, Sylvia Dixon, for the super sticker. Much, much appreciated. Tiger Hub, he said, I knew Leo was there. I just didn't know he and Harry had interacted. Yeah. A shout out to ET for getting that because nobody else did. Yeah, Will Ferrell was talking to Harry as well. He did an interview with ET too. And I think Leo has a tequila brand. I don't know about that, but these people do tend to be quite entrepreneurial. Thank you, Puzzle Dot. Wednesday blessings to everyone, or Thursday blessings, depending on which time zone you're in. Also, I think there's also a part of this that is very, very strategic. Harry and Meghan surrounding themselves with celebrities. It is a layer of protection. A layer of protection that Diana never had. Diana didn't have this. And it just makes me sad. She was still here with us. She could be enjoying this too. And but at least her son was able to escape with his wife. And I do believe that Harry will finish what his mother started, especially when it comes to the press. He will avenge his mother. Rahini, I also think they went to Beyonce's after a B-Day party. Wouldn't surprise me if they did. I'm sure she had one. Cristiano was actually seen with Beyonce on her day off, so I think we're gonna have to get used to the Kardashian Jenners with the with the Sussexes. I know there's some squaddies who feel some way about that, but guys, let it go. Devil works hard, Kris Jenner works harder. And clearly this is the circle. I mean, from the way it sounds, like Mama Doria is friends with Chris. So and Chris is definitely friends with Tina Knowles and Beyonce. So I'm sorry to those folks who are getting in their feelings. But listen, if anything, and think about it this way. Miss Jenna, if she's called upon, will help to deal with the British tabloid. Think about it like that. Mad World, you said, and the arena has a private entrance for athletes. They're more likely went through there. Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, this is the real balcony right here. This is the real balcony. By the way, the photographer who took that picture of Kerry Washington, Meghan, and Kelly Rowland, that was Kevin Mazur. He's the same one who was the designated photographer for the night of the Miss Foundation. So he's the one that actually got the all the real high quality photos of them on the red carpet. So that was the guy who was actually given full access by Beyonce to take pictures of them all in the VIP pit. Fun fact. All right, we'll just end with an update from Omid. Omid, of course, has a book coming out, and it is now officially at the printers. And he's also tweeted that I also hear Barnes & Noble Rewards members get 25% off pre-orders until September 8th, and premium members get an extra 10% discount on top. And he's also given us a preview of what we can expect. So here we are. Chapter 1, The Queen and Her Piper, Elizabeth II's Final Days. Chapter 2, Shaky Ground, The Queen is dead, the monarchy faces trouble. Chapter 3, Oh God, I hate this, King Charles's premiere. Chapter 4, Remembrance of Things Past, the ongoing campaign to make the royals great again. Chapter 5, Baggage, the lingering trials of King Charles. Chapter 6, The Fall of Prince Andrew, Scandal, Shame, and Silencing Jane Doe. Chapter 7, Race and the Royals, Institutional Bigotry and Denial. Chapter 8, Gloves On, Prince William, Heir to the Throne. Chapter 9, Gloves Off, Prince Harry, Man on a Mission. So that's just a sneak preview. Don't know how many chapters there'll be, but there's a lot to say. I'm sure Omid has a lot to say from his perspective. So I will definitely be reading Endgame. I'm very excited to read it. I think it will be a lot better than Finding Freedom now that Omid is not, having to take notes from the palace or shady people like Jason Knopf. Let's see. I wonder if Piers Morgan saw that gold balcony. Not only did Piers Morgan see that gold balcony, he has had that photograph. He has had this photograph open on his phone all day. Because this is the place that Piers Morgan wishes he was. This is where he wishes he was. That man is desperate for approval. And he has burned all his bridges. I mean, when Piers Morgan got to take over from Larry King on CNN, he was handed on a silver platter. This idiot that keeps on claiming that he's been cancelled. He was handed on a silver platter. A dream career job. A British journalist being given the slot of an American TV legend. And he was handed the whole Larry King Rolodex. He got to interview Oprah. He got to interview Beyonce. He got access to everyone. And he still messed it up. He still messed it up and went on to stab a lot of those people in the back, writing horrible articles about Beyonce, bullying everyone in the celebrity circle. That's what it looks like when you have always just been mediocre, but you just get things handed to you because of who you are, or because you use shady and nefarious ways to get on top and stay there. Okay, and with that, I am done. Thank you so much for coming. As always, everyone, thank you so much for your generosity, your time, your donations. Always appreciated. Doing this day in, day out for the last 2 years. It is great fun, but it's not always easy. But you will keep me motivated, and I appreciate your support. And don't forget also, I am giving away that Invictus ticket. So do message me on my socials or email me if you're interested in having that ticket. I'd love to give it to someone. Don't want it to go to waste. Go and enjoy Barron's. I believe Facts on 2 Cents might be on at the moment as well. She went on about 18 minutes ago. So go over there. And I'll see you tomorrow. Ciao.
For a fact, they both don't like that woman.
Yeah, I told you.
I tell you that because, furthermore, if you look at the situation, their father met that woman when he was 29. Do you know how old Diana was? 16. Diana was 16.
My goodness.
My man
What
was
would they say in 2023?
You see? The age police have not said anything.
The age
So
police.
now, when your
severe grooming.
imagine your mother goes on TV
Brutal, man.
and says your father and his descendants and his predecessors are bullying me, they're making me not eat, the woman is giving me sleepless nights, and then my mother dies, and then you go and marry that woman. Huh? You think I'm gonna like that woman?
That is a slap in the face.
A big slap in the face. But for William, as you said, he's sucking up because what? For him, he wants to be king.
He wants to be king.
So, but Harry, my guy, my brother, sticking up for his brother.
What you call a man that does not stand for anything, can fall for anything.
He will fall. Look at him, he's just like the wind.
That's why his head is falling as well. His hair is falling out.
Allegedly, he's also like father, like son, I hear.
Yeah.
He also has a side copying, but
allegedly, allegedly. Is this a news flash?
And allegedly,
are you breaking?
She was there at the coronation.
We didn't confirm it. You didn't hear it here.
Me, I'm just talking what I read in the newspapers.
Yeah. What newspaper is this?
That already she was also there at the coronation. On Camilla's side. That's what I saw.
William had chest, eh?
Allegedly. So for me, I don't think they like her, but they tolerate her.
So they have a department of side piece affair.
Uh-huh.
Was it me? Did you not see that?